These are the top 5 lunches that you should be eating to be able to lose all of your belly fat. These are the exact top 5 lunches that all of my clients have used over the last decade, including myself, to be able to go from 30% body fat to 10%. They follow a principle that I utilize in every plan. It needs to be easy, repeatable, enjoyable. And if you watch this video to the very end, you'll know exactly what you should be eating so you can lose all of your belly fat. Let's not waste any time. I'm gonna show you all the top 5 foods. Let's dive into it. Meal number 1. I have my abs because of this meal. I'll tell you exactly why. You're gonna get a great source of carbohydrates. This meal is extremely versatile because you don't necessarily only have to use ground beef. You can use ground beef, you can use chicken breast if you want, you can also use tuna. So you can also switch it up to be able to make it to your liking. What I also love about this meal is that depending on where you are in your journey, if you're at 3,000 calories or if you're at 1,500, you can always rely on this meal because you can always make it more voluminous if you need it by adding more cauliflower and cognac rice, or you can make it more high carb by adding more rice. So throughout my entire prep, I've been eating this exact meal. So let's get into it. First, we're going to prepare our rice. Now, all I'm gonna do is wash my rice. So we've washed the rice. This is the trick so you know exactly the perfect amount of water to add to your rice. So when you have your rice on a flat surface, you want it to get to this level here on your finger from the point of where you touch it. We'll cover the rice, turn on our microwave, and put it in the microwave for 12 minutes. We can now prepare the lean ground beef. Onions are cut up. Now I'm going to prepare the onions until they're golden. Always use Pam spray. This is an easy way to save yourself 5 to 10 grams of fat, which is a lot. For me in my diet right now, I'm only having 40 grams of fat, but usually you want to allocate about 20 to 25% of your total calories towards fats. So let's say you're eating about 2,000 calories. So this is a nice and easy way to save yourself on those fats. Another pro tip. These two things will volumize your meal. They will give you a lot more volume. You can buy cauliflower rice from your local grocery store or your local Whole Foods, but all you need to make cauliflower rice is a food processor, and you just need to cut the cauliflower in small little flowers and put them into the food processor, and just make sure that it's not too fine, but you want this density. When you mix it together with the real rice, you honestly cannot tell the difference between the cauliflower rice and the real rice. And then if you want to add more volume, you can add this cognac rice, right? So per 100 grams, it's 5 calories. In this bag alone, there is 200 grams. So it's 10 calories in this bag, which I'll add to here, which will volumize your meal. Now, I'm gonna add the lean ground beef. So this is gonna be our protein source for the meal. And now we're just gonna mix that in with the onion, and you're gonna get that flavor as well. Some of you guys may not like the onion. You can put whatever you want, bell peppers, you can use chilies, whatever you guys prefer. But I'm a big fan of onions in my meal. Now, once you see that it's more brown-like color, I like adding the spice. And you can use salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, whatever spices you like. And I'm also going to add Heinz barbecue spice. If you want to save yourself on the macros, I would also recommend G Hughes. It's about 10 calories a serving, amazing macros, and it tastes amazing as well. And I'll be pouring 25 grams of this, and then we'll just mix that around. We're going to add the cognac rice. And why cognac rice is actually so low calorie, it's mainly fiber. It's actually 97% just fiber and then 3% water. Now we'll mix that in. Rice is ready, so out there. The rice is ready, which we'll add shortly, but now I'm gonna add the cauliflower rice. I'm gonna use the glass bowl, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of water into it. I'm not gonna seal it. With the rice, make sure it's sealed, but this one, I'll just cover it, and then I'm gonna put it into the microwave for 7 minutes. And you can see that the rice is cooked to perfection. And the cauliflower rice is ready. And now for the final ingredient, we're going to add the cauliflower. For most people, this is the equivalent of 2 to 3 meals, but I'm not most people. And this is our rice bowl, our beef rice bowl. And this is meal number 1. Let me give you the macros of this giant bowl. I mean, look at it. It's the size of my head and I have a very big head. That being said, the macros of this comes out to 594 calories. There's 70.6 grams of carbs, 12.3 grams of fat, and 51.1 grams of protein. Why I love this meal is that it's very versatile. Let's say, for example, you want to save yourself on the carbs. You could just have the cauliflower rice and the cognac rice and remove the actual rice, and that will cut your carbs down by almost half. And that brings us to 38.6 grams of carbs and 454 calories in total. You can also reduce the amount of cauliflower rice depending on your appetite, and there's 130 grams of lean ground beef in here. So there's many different ways you can play around with this, but I absolutely love this bowl. If you guys want me to create the full series, the best breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack, and I make this into a playlist, and what I'll maybe even do is create a PDF with all the foods that I'm utilizing, with all the macros, how to prepare it, all the ingredients, a grocery list. Leave the video the thumbs up and comment down below, Dr. Mike, make the following video series and create the PDF for us, and I'll gladly make it. I think that by the end of this series, you guys can always come back to these videos and you can share it with someone who also wants to get into shape. So leave the video the gentle thumbs up and comment down below, Dr. Mike, create the video series and the PDF for us, and I'll happily do that. Let's move on into food number 2. The next one is going to be a favorite, and that is going to be Dr. Mike's Mac. Why I call it that is that it's almost the same, a little bit less calories than a Big Mac, but it has half the amount of fats and it has double the protein, and it also has less carbs. I'm gonna show you how to prepare it. The first special ingredient is choosing a leaner ground beef, and I'm going to make a patty out of this. And I won't add any more spice just because I want the spice on it and not in it. And this is typically how people overdo the sodium. I'm just gonna flatten it enough so that when it shrinks, it's the perfect size. What's a burger without onions? So we'll prepare the onions as well. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the onion. I'm just gonna have that onion prepare itself there on the side. Another thing that will be saving us a lot is using fat-free or low-fat cheese, but I'm gonna use cream cheese in this instance. Just preparing it for now. Perfect. Now we have that toasted. I'm gonna add 20 grams of the Peronaise on the base. Beautiful. And do you see how that is just at the perfect size? Now, we add our favorite ingredients. So the first thing I like doing is I like doing this cheese on the base of the burger, on top of the burger. I will add the onions. You can distribute it nicely and evenly. And then we'll add some tomatoes on there. It's not a burger if it doesn't have some pickles, right? And the burger's almost done, but we cannot forget that we still do have some cheese. So I'm gonna put that on here. Right, so that when you take your first bite, you can taste the cheese. Don't forget to add some barbecue sauce on there. Here we have Dr. Mike's Mac, 483 calories, which comes to 34.3 grams of carbs, 16.7 grams of fats, and then 46.6 grams of protein. What I could do if I wanted to make this a bit more calorie friendly is I could just remove completely the barbecue sauce or put a lot less, and the macros would come out to 463 calories. And I could maybe do, instead of 20, I could just do 10 grams of the sauce that I used initially, and that takes us to 445 calories. That's 27.5 carb, 15.5, and 46.4. And this is exactly why Tori could get this amazing physique finally, is because he could make this a part of his lifestyle. And Tori's story is very similar to a lot of the people that work with me. It's an entrepreneur, you're earning your 6 to 7 figures a year, you've given up your health so you can provide for your family and the people that are around you, but it's come at the cost of your health. You've maybe never seen your six-pack, your confidence is gone, and you don't recognize yourself in the mirror, your suits don't fit well, and you want that to change. 2024 and today and even yesterday was the best time to make that happen. If you want to work with me and you want a guaranteed result, you want to get your energy back, back. You want to have lifelong results, and so that they're sustainable, and you want me to scientifically build your plan so that it's enjoyable, it's repeatable, and that it's easy. Go into the description of this video, fill out the quick questionnaire to be able to work with me. We'll jump on a call, we'll talk about the DNA sequence, which is the format that I utilize, my formula, to transform any physique using science, and then we'll be able to see how we can help you. No pressure at all. But let's move on into meal number 3. So here we have something that you can meal prep for multiple days. It's going to be an easy chicken wrap. Why I love this and why you really need one of these, I'm going to use an air fryer. So here we have 200 grams of chicken breast, which is about 6 ounces if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to prepare it in an air fryer. Add the spices. And I'm just going to add just a little bit of barbecue sauce. And by the way, guys, I'm showing you the way I would do it if I was in a hurry and I wanted to go to work. And it's another reason I like using the air fryers, because you don't have to be at the pan and you don't have to really be paying attention to it. You can just prepare your meals and go about your day. We want it at 180 degrees. That's 356 Fahrenheit. We're going to hit start, and we're going to only have it in there for 12 minutes to make the perfect chicken breast. Now we can move on and I'll prepare the garnishes. What we'll be using is the mission wraps, the original ones. Open that up, right? And we want all the ingredients right in the middle. You don't need all of the cheese, so I'm gonna divide the cheese into 2. Some onions. Look at that. I'm gonna cut it in the middle so you can see its consistency. And as you can see, the moisture is still in there and it's perfectly cooked. So what I've done, this is 200 grams, just according to iTest. And you wanna cut them up in little cubes. You can add some barbecue sauce. Here we have wrap numero 1 and wrap number 2. Voila! We have 2 wraps that you can have. Amazing, and you want to, right? You always need a best friend for the wrap. And the macros for the wrap, 587 calories. That comes out to be 54.9 grams of carbs, 16.3 grams of fat, and 54.3 grams of protein. You'll notice that all the meals I prepare are between 45 and 50 grams of protein. If you have 4 meals in the day, that's an easy way to hit your 200 grams if that's your goal. Again, all I did was I took 1 Laughing Cow cheese, low fat, and I separated between the 2. Add whichever garnish you like, and then separate the 200 grams, the 6 ounces of chicken, into 2 different wraps, right? So that's 3 ounces into each wrap. And then you can toast it a little bit in the pan just so that you can get this nice toasty flavor. And here we have 2 wraps. What's nice about this is that you can prep maybe 6 wraps for the week, and that way you have 3 lunches that are done. You just need to pop it in the microwave, or you can just put it in the pan and they're good to go and they taste absolutely fresh. Use a foil to cover them, but that's the meal. The next one is a personal favorite because this is exactly what I eat once I'm getting into my single-digit body fat meals. What we're gonna do is what we call a Big Mac salad. It's very easy to prepare. We're going to need 130 grams of lean ground beef. We'll prepare the salad. So all you need is iceberg lettuce, or you can just buy a packet of salad this way and add that as our base. So I'm gonna cut up some tomatoes in here. So now we add our tomatoes to our salad. And personally, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big fan of pickle juice. So I'll just add a little bit of pickle juice. Every Big Mac will always have pickles. So add a lot of pickles in here. What I'm gonna do is add some of this barbecue sauce to the lean ground beef. And now, the final main ingredient to the salad is the burger. And then finally, you normally like and want to add that Big Mac sauce, in this case, I'm gonna be using Péronaise, but you can use a low-fat mayo base. Look at me, I almost forgot one of the most important parts, the cheese. The Big Mac salad. The macros exactly for this meal is 408 calories. That comes out to be 17.7 grams of carbs. Out of all of the meals, this is the lowest carb meal, 17.2 grams of fat. And you can save yourself if you have better macro cheese. This is the lowest fats that I could find, and 45.6 grams of protein. And that is the entire Big Mac salad. You can definitely add a lot more volume. I would. And that is our meal. Let's go into our final one. Perfect. So with the pumpkin meal, this tastes amazing with the beef and onions, right? So imagine caramelized onions and beef and then having that with pumpkin. You can also have it with potatoes if you so desire. So I have the beef steak in here, and that's 220 grams uncooked. And then we'll add the onions. Very easy meal, quick and easy. Perfect. So as you can see, we have pumpkin in here, 600 grams cut into little pieces. I like keeping it this way because of the consistency. I like my pumpkin. I'm gonna add a little bit of water. We're gonna put it in the microwave for 7 minutes. And this is the meal that I'm eating right now on prep, which I absolutely love. And all of this volume, here we go. So this is exactly what I'm eating right now. What's amazing about a pumpkin meal is that it's high fiber. Fiber will help you in terms of feeling full and will allow you to stick to your diet more closely. So the exact macros for this entire bowl is 576 calories. There's 600 grams of pumpkin, which comes out to 80.8 grams of carbs, 4.7 grams of fat, and 50.8 grams of protein. And we use some onions, right, that's glazed all over there. If you want, you can switch this out for potatoes, but I find pumpkin to be a lot more filling. And these are my top 5 lunches that you should be eating to lose belly fat, and I'll tell you why. We start off with a rice bowl to give you volume, so you can stay consistent with your plan, and it's very easy to make, and you can also meal prep this for multiple days and it will save you time. We have a healthy salad that you can have to save yourself on the carbs. So this you can also have as a dinner if you want to save yourself having the iceberg lettuce. This is a meal that I've had throughout my decade, and I'm showing you clips right now of every single prep of all of my preps that has allowed me to drop over 40 pounds eating this exact same meal. What I love about the wrap is that it's easy to prepare and is something that you can meal prep with. It also is a fun meal, very much like the burger, that makes you feel like you're not on a diet, and that's very, very important to do. And finally, there's no words for a burger. Imagine being able to say, hey, I got a 6-pack eating a burger, which is exactly what all of my clients do say. I'll leave the video here. If you want to work with me, fill out the questionnaire in the description down below. And also, comment down below if you guys want me to make that video series with the PDF. Just say, Dr. Mike, make the playlist with the PDF and leave the video the gentle thumbs up. I'll leave the video here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.